Okay, hope everybody's enjoying the weekend and getting ready to go back trading tomorrow. Right now it's a little bit after, well, close to 8:30 in the Pacific time here. It's February 28, 2016. We're going to take a look at some of the futures, such as oil, gold, and then we're going to look at the indexes. Then cap it off with looking at some of these, momentum stock that we've been following, such as Apple, Facebook, Netflix, and so forth. So let's start off with the crude oil. We've been looking at this 33.72 for the last couple of weeks, and it's still kind of trying to punch through it. Although it made a couple of attempts going above it, but it haven't been able to close above that. So we're still looking for this thing to get above this 33.72. Then we'll probably will be looking at to try to make its way between this 35.35 to the 38.58 area here. So essentially, the target level is somewhere around this 127 and 168 extension on this Fibonacci retracement. And if we taking a look at the potential pullback for support, will be somewhere around this 31 area in the near term. If it break through this retracement zone, then we'll probably get another retest of 26.05. But I personally believe that that's the bottom of the low probably have been put in for the crude oil for a while. But anything could happen. Just my guess. So. But take it what it's worth. But at least, right now we're kind of looking at the potential upside momentum. You can see that it's forming a little bit of a inverted head and shoulder here. Okay, so we might get this little breakthrough, or it could conceivably maybe come back down a little bit and maybe get a little bit of a deeper right shoulder to make this thing to come to this 168. And essentially up at this region here on the price level. Okay, and then on the gold, we basically was looking for the gold to come back and retrace to this 1191.70, into this retracement zone. It seems to be holding up here for right now. I'm still expecting it to come back down and pull down to this 191 area. The 1191 area here. Okay. So just kind of keep an eye on that. Wouldn't be chasing for it to go up right now if you are not in the long trade. But I'm kind of looking for this thing to pull back and see what will happen when it get into this retracement zone. Then looking at the 10-year bond, you can see the 10-year bond got a big spike up here on this shooting star and then kind of pull back to the 618. And we're essentially looking for that 618 pullback. And right now we might be seeing a bounce going back up if the interest rate talk from the Fed dies down, and I think the market doesn't believe there's going to be an interest rate hike in March anyway. So we'll see. And then here's the 30-year, look very similar to the 10. So basically looking for this thing to probably hover around here for a little while, consolidate near this 618, and then probably make another move back up. And then the U.S. dollar, basically the dollar, we're kind of looking for it to come back up, and it went to this retracement zone. So right now we're still looking for this thing to make it maybe a little bit higher. But if it come back down to this, to this 618 or this 97 level, if it break below this 97 level, then we're basically looking for this thing to come back down to this 95. But right now, I'm still kind of thinking the dollar probably will go up a little bit more and maybe get back up to this 99 to this to close to this 100 level. Not because of the interest rate hike that make the dollar go up, but I think it's more probably the weakening of the other currency around the world. So let's take a look at the future on the ES. Okay, this is the E-mini S&P 500. We're basically looking for that break on the 1940, and it broke through that last week, kind of spiked up on Friday. Right now in the overseas market, trading a little bit down, so it's not that big of a deal. It's down currently like 4 points. Okay, so we're basically looking for a little bit of consolidation here, and if we're going to pull back, we're probably looking for this thing to come back down to maybe possibly the 18, somewhere around the 1900 area here. Okay, down at this. If we look at only the day session, we see a little gap here. Right, this right here, there's a little gap here, okay, and we could come back and test that gap if it pull back that much, but I expect this thing to continue to push up to take out this September 2015 FOMC announcement date, that intraday high somewhere around this 2011. Okay, and that's equivalent to, I believe, it's the 2020 on the SPX, the S&P 500 cash index itself. So again, if we take a look at the potential pullback, maybe to this 1901, if it come back down to this level, so right now we are looking at this thing as a W, or double bottom type of breakout. And if it decide to pull back down, get a little pullback, then we're essentially looking for a inverted head and shoulder move. Okay, in either case, we're basically targeting about these level here. I do believe in this, there's still a little bit more upside to go, depending how we're going to react when it get up to this price level. So right now I'm still looking at these as a potential near-term target. But again, anything could happen, right? It just could collapse, get below this 1810, and it go down like everybody been expecting for a long time. So, but again, we will monitor the market as it play itself out and adjust, or trade accordingly, and also the risk. We're not trying to predict what the market will do. We basically just read the message of the market and try to follow what we interpret that it might do. Okay. So, and if we take a look at the SPY, the ETF, essentially, pulling back somewhere around this 190, 125 to 190. If it pull back, if it continue to move up and it hold above this 194.58, expect to come up to this 202. So somewhere around this, this zone here, somewhere around this 202 to 202.89. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at for the SPY. And then for the NQ, essentially the future for the NDX, the Nasdaq 100, basically looking for this thing to come up to somewhere around this 43.09, break through that, and be looking at the next level is the 43.65. So that's basically what I'm looking at, this thing to continue to push through that. If it come back in the the support level we're looking at is 41.7350. At that this level here, and then we'll look at the cash index. Basically it's these level here, the 41.74, right? So let me see here, essentially these level. Okay, right. So looking for this thing to pull through up here. Okay, again, this FOMC day here, that's the ultimate target, and also we could also try to keep an eye on this the day before the announcement date. Okay, so and then the Russell 2000, right? Okay, get out of all these here. Okay, so we're essentially looking for this, to break out. If it pull back, then again it could set up to be a little bit of a inverted head and shoulder pattern, right? Okay, to make that move. And if we do a little bit of a major move on this inverted head and shoulder, then we can see that on the 618 could come up at this level, and then that the 100% retracement could basically get into this area here. Okay, right? So you could see that there is this level of support here. Okay, that's very close to this 200% extension, which is the 100% major move of this distance. Okay, and then on the 168, 161, this is probably somewhere around the 70% or so. Okay, of the major move, right? This area here. Okay, so you might want to keep an eye on that. Okay, so let's go and let me put up the QQQ. Alright, so the QQQ here, we're still looking for the 106.08. Okay, at this level here, and if the FMOC level, and that will be the 108.73. Okay, so basically looking for it. Continue to monitor for this break. Let me take this out. Right, the break around these level here. Okay, the 104.40. All right, and if this pull back, we look for a 50 to 618% pullback. All right, so essentially looking at this pullback here, if we are getting some pullback, and this area here. So if we pull back here, then we're looking for, see, would it be able to bounce off of these extension? Then you can see that it makes a nice inverted head and shoulder type of pattern, and with a measure move, then that should bring it up to this level and possibly into this gap, these gap level here. Okay, all right. So let's go and take a look at some of the stock, and let's let me switch lists here. Then we can kind of take a look at those. Let's start off with Apple. Okay, Apple been consolidating here, and we were basically looking at this 97.33. Right now it's trying to make its way up to that and getting to this 101.50 area. So we're still looking for Apple to get above here and make this move up to this 101. And if we can get up to this 101, believe it or not, that 107.55 could be in play. Okay, so right now Apple seems to be setting up nicely here on this consolidation. It's trying to break out of this band here, so just kind of keep an eye on this. Yeah, there might be a little bit of a consolidation or minor pullback, but don't let that shake you out here. I think Apple is it seems to be setting up to make a move here, but again, always set your stop, and just in case, because the market always do funny thing, and when you least expect it. So just have to adhere to your stop, and if you get stop out and the the trade set up again, just go and hit it again. Right? I mean, that's the nature of the game, right? So so just kind of watch each level. Okay, and then Facebook been strong. Basically was looking for this 618 and 50%. Right. So the target right now, we're essentially still looking at this 110.65, and a pullback is that 103.48. Okay, this 50% level here. Okay, right. So we're basically just kind of looking at this thing to continue to move up to this 110.65. Okay, and then we're looking at Netflix. Netflix, we mentioned about that 95 level a couple of times, right? So it hit that 95, and also last Friday on the pen, we were looking at that 95 pen, and you could tell on the OI, the open interest for that weekly option. When I put it up early in the week, you could see there was a peak, very high interest at the open interest at that 195 strike. So that kind of give you a little clue where the market is targeting that thing at, right? So you can see that if you got lucky, you could have got out at 97, with a couple dollar above that 95 strike. So I hope some of those guys, some of you that have been holding those 95 or 94 call, were able to capitalize on that. But in either case, that was it was a nice move for Netflix. Although we got a little bit of a shooting star right now, wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback and maybe possibly get back down to somewhere around this 92, 93 area. Okay, and then make another move. So just kind of have to keep an eye on that, because if we put up this Fibonacci retracement also, just kind of get some idea. You can see that it pulled back to this 618 and the 50% retracement zone. Got a nice tail here. Basically, this is 38.2, right? And then you got this thing shot up. So right now, this 127 is somewhere around 98. So even though we got a shooting star here, we could just kind of get a little bit of a consolidation, maybe just a little bit of a wiggle down here, and then continue on. So you just kind of keep an eye on this type of stuff. Okay. And then what else? What's next here? Netflix, and then we do a little bit of a Twitter. Okay, we see that Twitter could also be sort of setting up a little bit of an inverted head and shoulder here if you pay a little attention here. Now, even though it might come back a little bit, if it come down even to this 1555, and then come back up, just form a nice little bit of a inverted head and shoulder. So you might want to keep an eye on that type of a price action. Okay, or it could simply just continue to come up. So then you got this little bit of a inverted head and shoulder. So the target level, basically looking at this 21.99 to 23.28. Okay, and the support here, essentially down at this 15.55. If it can hold that 15.55, then we could see the possibility of come back down and retest this 13.91. Okay, and then we've got Amazon. Okay, Amazon here, we're still looking for this thing to come up to this 580, right? Okay, so we're looking for this thing to tag this 580, and the support is 519. We're going to bump it up to this 519 support. Spoken to this little pivot low here, so we want to see could it hold that. If it can't, then come back down, probably set up this 519 here, and that would be probably be okay, because that would be somewhere around this 50% retracement here. Right, then we're basically looking at this 127 extension, which will bring it up to the 580. Okay, so and then we'll take a look at Google. Google came down and held this 700 level. Remember, we were talking about this 700 level as a support, and it came down last week, and the low was 702.02. So actually, it came within a couple $1 above this 700 level here. So we're looking for this thing to continue to push up. If it could hold above this level, push up to tag is 752.46. Okay. And finally, Tesla. Okay, we got Tesla here. Still waiting for this thing to come up and hit this retracement zone. Right, but right now, essentially, we bump up the support to somewhere around this 175.33. So if we pull back, then we expect it to try to hold that support here. And if we also do a little bit of assuming this is the high here, and then we get a little bit of a pullback, so we can see that it come down to this close to the 618. Okay, all right, so you might want to kind of monitor that if it pull back, but I expect it to continue to push up here and possibly get into the zone, and then maybe we'll get a little bit of a pullback, then a go. So right now we're essentially still monitoring for this zone here for Tesla to see could it get up there, but certainly it came up fairly rapidly, and it's also more in a pretty steep slope. So I wouldn't be surprised that we will see a pullback down to the 75, this 175 area. Okay, so I just have to keep an eye on that. Unless it come up here, then maybe it pull back down here, right? So then it make a move. So it's all depend what the price action is in the next couple of days. So that's all I have. Good luck next week.